Welcome back to the channel. Today, I'll be veering away from making recommendations for long-term sustainable setups and put more emphasis on the churning aspect of the credit card game. Why churning business cards and at least knowing what they can do is extremely powerful. As always, we will also be applying the framework that I go over in the next few minutes to a real case study. So thank you to Smoldingus for letting me use your post. To understand why business cards are beneficial in the credit card game, so apart from practical uses like being able to organize your finances, we need to take the time to understand some definitions and rules. First of all, churning. Churning is the practice of repeatedly opening new credit card accounts to earn large sign-up bonuses and closing or canceling them shortly after. To put it simply, you open accounts strictly for the sign-up bonus and never use it again or close them. Secondly, there are some rules when it comes to applications. The most infamous one would be Chase's 524 rule, where they won't approve you for a card if you had more than 5 cards open within the last 24 months. However, the emphasis is on more than 5 personal cards, and we'll get to that in a bit. With that being said, let's go through the benefits of business cards. Business cards don't count towards most rules that restrict the number of cards open. As I've mentioned earlier, Chase's 524 rule counts personal cards only, not business cards, meaning business cards usually don't count towards Chase's 524 rule. For example, if you opened a Discover It card on March of 2025 and open a business card, say a Chase Inc. Cash on May of 2025, your 524 status would still be at 124, not 224. To put it explicitly, business cards are best to churn because it leaves your 524 slot or any application rules that other banks might have open. As such, many individuals that already have a decent setup going on for them opt to apply for business credit cards for these subs. The second benefit is that sign-up bonuses are generally larger for business cards, although they require a proportionately large amount of spend. For example, the Amex Gold business offers a 200,000 MR sub for $15,000 spent in 3 months, while the Amex Gold personal card offers a 100,000 MR sub for $6,000 spent in 6 months. This means that if you have a large spend coming up, say for some remodeling project, you'll be better off with opening an Amex Gold business, assuming you wouldn't have been able to hit the $15,000 in 3 months naturally otherwise. Although the return on investment is lower, 16.6% on the Amex Gold Personal and 13.3% on the business card, I choose the business card because I wouldn't normally be able to get the sub, whereas I can get the sub for the Amex Gold whenever really, since I spend more than 1K a month. To this end, business card subs are great for those trying to maximize their return on abnormally large spending. That is, for those that wouldn't normally be able to hit the business card sub, but can because of some large upcoming spend. The third benefit that I will cover for today is that the business card has exclusive benefits sometimes. Business cards have benefits that aren't offered in personal cards that actually might make them more attractive. And a perfect example of this would be the Amex Delta Reserve business card versus the personal Delta Reserve card. The personal card has $240 in Resi and $200 in Delta Stays credits, but the business card has the same $240 Resi credit, a large $250 Delta Stays credit, and a $120 rideshare credit. Sure, credits can be annoying, but notice how if you do use rideshare services often enough, the Delta Reserve business card actually makes more sense to you. To this end, the business card actually is easier to offset your annual fee for. If you don't count credits as benefits, we can use the business version of the Amex Platinum as an example. Though not the best value, the card offers 35% off on a domestic airline that you choose when you book with points. So let's do the math together. Say a flight costs $100. Booking through Amex's portal should cost you 10,000 MR points because you redeem them at 1 cent per point. But with the Amex Platinum Business perk, you should only have to pay 6,500 MR points. Since you booked a $100 flight for 6,500 MR points, you get around 1.53 cents per point. Now, this is assuming portal prices are not inflated, but it could be an easy way to redeem your points if you don't want to plan for your trips a year in advance for a business class flight to, say, Japan. Now, let's take a look at a real-life example to see how these benefits can actually come into play. If we take a look at Smoldingus' Reddit post, we can see that their current setup is the following: the Discover It, the Freedom Flex, and the Chase Sapphire Preferred, the Amex Gold and the Plat, the World of Hyatt card, the Apple card, the Bilt card, and the Amazon Visa. Here are their financials. They make around $70,000 a year, spend $310 on dining, groceries $216, gas $85, travel $110, other $1,300. So this is her monthly spend. Now, right off the bat, I see a couple pain points. They have a very large other spend category, yet they don't have a good catch-all card. They also don't have a way to generate Chase points reliably. They only have the Chase Sapphire Preferred and maybe the Chase Freedom Flex. And their goal is to either get a good catch-all card or a good sub card. Based on their profile, here are a couple things that really stand out to me. They're heavily involved in the Amex ecosystem, somewhat in the Chase ecosystem, and they often use Chase and Bilt to transfer to Hyatt and Amex for international business class flights. So I have two recommendations. The first recommendation is to bonk two birds with one stone. You can get the Chase Ink Unlimited, which has a large sub, so 6K spend within 3 months for 75K UR points, and it also acts as a decent catch-all for UR points, since 1.5x on everything is better than 1x at least. It also keeps the annual fee at a minimum because it has a $0 annual fee. And finally, it allows you to continue churning personal cards because it doesn't count towards Save 524. The second recommendation I have is to double down on Amex and forego the larger sub for your future. You can apply for the Amex Blue Business Plus, which gives you 2x on everything at a $0 annual fee. So the pro here is that you get a way better catch-all, but the con here is that you won't have a large sub because I think it's around 15K MR points. A bonus recommendation that I have is to consider Bilt. You have to like math, but there are plenty of good Bilt calculation videos out there, so maybe check those out because I'm not sure about the marginal value I provide to the community if I were to post another Bilt video, but you let me know if that's something that you'd be interested in. The TLDR is Bilt Blue actually gives more than 1x back if you spend on rent and mortgages. That's a $0 annual fee card, by the way. And the Bilt Blue actually gives around 2.3x, I believe, depending on which option you choose. The Bilt Palladium technically gives 3.3x, depending on how you do the math, but you decide if you want to let Bilt handle your money, but if you really want a good catch-all, the Bilt card is a good option. I'm not entirely sure about the organization. And that's it for today's video. I hope you found some recommendations to be helpful, and Smoldingus, again, I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name, but please let me know if I missed anything or there are additional factors that you're considering that haven't been mentioned in the Reddit post. I'll be more than happy to respond. With that being said, huge thanks to you for letting me use your post, and I hope other people also found my video to be helpful. As always, stay safe.